Alabama, Clemson. Alabama looks for its 5th title in 8 years and a back-to-back championship reign. Of course, Clemson looking for their first national championship since 1981. This is what the game is going to come down to. It's going to come down to the Alabama defense versus Deshaun Watson. Alabama defense, they are ranked number 1 in the country, total defense, points allowed, and run defense. This is going to be a problem for Deshaun Watson and the Clemson running game, especially if Deshaun Watson wants to run out of the pocket. It's going to be a big problem for him to get some momentum going tonight. But you have faith. He's a great kid. He's a great talent. And the running game is going to be a problem for Clemson tonight, especially against this defense. If you're writing Clemson off right away, I wouldn't. I didn't pick them to beat Ohio State. Was I going to be surprised if they did? No. But 31-0? You got to be kidding me. 31-0? Unreal. A much better performance than Alabama put up against Washington. Literally, Clemson went in to the Fiesta Bowl and from the get-go, from the start, dominated Urban Meyer and Ohio State. Dominated. Reggie, I know you're listening. I know you were upset. But my God, there's no other way to say it. Total domination. And for Alabama, you have a freshman quarterback starting in the national championship. Jalen Hurts. SEC Offensive Player of the Year. He has got to play better than he did against Washington to win tonight. 7 out of 14, 57 yards, didn't throw a touchdown. Alabama's defense and Alabama's running game won the game last week against Washington. And I think the big story here, and we got to address it, Lane Kiffin out as offensive coordinator for Alabama, now taking full responsibilities as head coach at Florida Atlantic University. We spoke to Evan Cohen from Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 82, and of course 106.3 FM, ESPN West Palm. We talked to him earlier in the show, and he's got a great point. He thinks that Lane quit and got fired at the same time. He said that Nick Saban came up to him after the Washington game and said the offense has to be better. You have to be fully committed to Alabama, and he said if you can't be, then you can't be here. And Lane Kiffin probably said something like, you know what, I can't commit to Alabama full-time because I'm a head coach at Florida Atlantic. I can't do both, then I'm out. So I definitely would think that there is potentially a reasoning here that Lane Kiffin quit and got fired. Will that affect the Alabama offense tonight? That is to remain to be seen. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I don't think Alabama's going to blow them out. The spread looks right about on target. Put it this way, you had a 45-40 game last year. Expect some of the same this year. Sean Martin picked Clemson to win. I'm not knocking his pick. I may not agree with it right now, but I'm not saying that Sean didn't provide the facts. Clemson has every single advantage to win this game. In fact, to make a coaching change a week before the national championship is odd, stunning, and more importantly, gutsy by Nick Saban. And it's Nick Saban, the best coach ever in college football. It's a gutsy move to change offensive coordinators 7 days before the biggest game these kids are ever going to play. And if the Alabama offense does not perform well, the story tomorrow morning is going to be Lane Kiffin wasn't there. Lane Kiffin walked out, or Lane Kiffin got fired, and Lane Kiffin was not in Tampa Bay last night, and Lane Kiffin was at Florida Atlantic, and the big part of the story is Lane Kiffin was not there. If the Alabama offense performs poorly tonight, or God forbid Alabama loses tonight, the story is going to be Nick Saban let Lane Kiffin go. The story is going to be Lane Kiffin leaving cost them the championship. The story is going to be they would not have done it without Lane Kiffin, and they didn't. Those will be the stories tomorrow morning if Alabama does not pull out the win tonight, or if Alabama's offense performs poorly. If Jalen Hurts has numbers like he had in the Peach Bowl that he has tonight, if he has those same numbers tonight, hell, Lane Kiffin's going to be the blame for it. Lane Kiffin will be the story no matter what tomorrow. Or the story is going to be they couldn't do it with Lane Kiffin, so they had to get rid of him, and it worked. No matter what, tomorrow morning, Lane Kiffin is going to be the story of this national championship, and he's not even there. No matter what, I believe Lane Kiffin will be the topic tomorrow morning after this national championship, whether Alabama wins or loses, because if they win, it's going to be they couldn't do it with them, and if he was there trying to focus on Florida Atlantic, then they were going to lose the game, or they were going to perform poorly. Or if they perform poorly on offense and barely beat Clemson, the story's going to be he should have been there. Why would you change coaches 7 days before? And if they lose, why would you change coaches 7 days before? You cost yourselves the championship doing that. No matter what, Lane Kiffin is going to be the story tomorrow. I have no doubt in my mind. I'll be shocked if he's not. The only way he won't be is if Alabama wins this game 55-7. And then maybe no one's talking about Lane Kiffin because they'll be talking about how great Jalen Hurts played and how great the Alabama defense was and Nick Saban out-coaching Dabo Swinney again. For Clemson, though, they have to stop the Alabama running game on defense. That's one. The good news is Deshaun Watson is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. If he could protect the ball tonight, Clemson has a shot to be in good shape. Dabo Swinney, of course, looking for revenge in this one. It's a tough pick. It really is a tough pick tonight. Alabama, Clemson, I can't wait for it. I'll be watching. It's going to be a fascinating national championship, a fascinating rematch. The third national championship in the college football playoff era. Alabama going for their second straight. Clemson, of course, looking to right the wrong from last year. It is going to be a fight tonight. I really do think that Lane Kiffin leaving is going to affect the Alabama offense in a bad way tonight. I think it's going to happen. How do you get used to an offensive coordinator 7 days before the biggest game of your life? Jalen Hurts is a freshman. I'm not saying Alabama's going to lose the game, but I don't think the offense is going to be that good tonight. I don't. How do you expect to perform well in the biggest game of your life 7 days after your offensive coordinator got changed? When I first found out Lane Kiffin was out at Alabama, that's immediately what I thought. I was like, how is Jalen Hurts going to perform well on Monday night? Am I going to be surprised if he does perform well? No. It's Alabama. It's Nick Saban. I'm sure he's got it covered. But you can't sit here and say you're not concerned that the freshman is going to have some flaws tonight. I think he's going to have setbacks tonight. I do. One thing for sure, though, I think it is going to be a very, very fascinating national championship.